was 2012. And I spent 3 years there. Wait a minute, what's this? Got it, right? Okay. And I spent 3 years out there, and I retired when I turned 70 and 6 years ago. And the first year out, I just put everything in my car and I drove around the country. Spent a whole year just driving around, visiting family, visiting friends all over the place, and spent some time back in Peru. And in the following year, I moved in here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have 6 apartments, and there were 5 of us living here. There are 4 of us now. So that's kind of where I've been at. My health is fine these days. And I don't know about plans for the future. A lot depends on pandemic and what I can do and what I can't do and what's happening. So everything's sort of up in the air right now.
Great. Anybody have anything they want to say to Kevin?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Kevin was just in the Tucson area. I hadn't seen him, for about a year. So it was good to have you down here. And he came to visit me. We also got on Zoom then, and we're talking with Regis as well. So we had a good chat. Who are the other? You said there's 4. Do we know the other 3 that are living there in Phoenix?
Okay, Ron Oakham is here, Eric Bell is here, and Jim Mueller is here. So that's the 4 of us now. And it was good seeing you and Fran. It was great seeing you guys.
Yeah, it was. We're glad you came. So
yeah, we'll come back to Kevin after we talk with Mike Beener, and Kevin will answer some questions that guys had the last time about the status quo of Carmel USA and Carmel International. So Mike Beener, we're going to come out to you. Wow, it's good to see you.
Welcome. Glad to see everybody. So I think, what did you say, 3 or 4 minute summary of your life, pretty much?
Yeah.
I'll try and ring a bell if I go past. Well, when I left after senior year, and I was pre-med at Loyola on the north side of Chicago. First day I got there, I was like a homesick kid almost, and John Prusik and 2 or 3 others showed up and said, "Hey, let's go play some golf." And we went up to Mundelein Seminary. I was going to say cemetery, and it was just so great that they helped me out there. So Loyola was great. I was pre-med. I just squeaked by into medical school. If my parents didn't live in Lake County, I don't know if I would have gotten in. My junior year, I accidentally ended up being the treasurer of the student council. And then I said, well, I might as well run for president. So my senior year, I was president of the student council at Loyola. And I started the prayer breakfast in Springfield that continues to this day. And what else do we do? Oh, I rewrote the Constitution. About a month before the end of the year, I retired. I quit my position, rewrote the Constitution, and it passed. And apparently that's still there till at least 20 years ago when my daughter showed up applying. So I barely got in. I went to Wesley I should say that the main thing that I got out of medical school was meeting my wife. So about second month of my sophomore year, we bumped into each other, and we've been married 51 years. So I did my internship in Wichita, Kansas. Then I joined the National Health Service Corps for 2 years. I was a rural family doc around Cooperstown, New York area. And I couldn't tell whether to go into orthopedics or family practice. And the only one I was excited about was Mayo Clinic, and they didn't accept me. So I said, I'm going to go into family practice. So I went to University of Wisconsin, finished up there, and became board certified. My first practice was Rice Lake, Wisconsin, way up by Duluth for 5 years. But my dad used to take me up to the Adirondack Mountains in New York, and I always had I wished to live in the Adirondacks. So we came all the way across, and we moved to Ticonderoga, New York. And I started a practice there that, again, continues today and has about 30 employees. In 1986, my wife and I hit a 18-wheel truck head on and miraculously lived. She had the belt under her arm in the wrong way, and it snapped her spine in half and left her paralyzed. So for the last 35 years or so, she's been paralyzed. I quickly tried to get her into wheelchair racing, and she loved it. She never had been athletic before, and she did 8 marathons, 3 Boston marathons, and hundreds of little 10Ks and 5Ks. And I was running during those years, not very fast. And it was something we could do together and get our kids involved too. So another thing is I was losing my hair, and I was vain enough that I had a hair transplant done in 1979 to 83. And then one night I got the idea, it'd be fun to do that, and I could have more time to help out around the house. So I went out to San Francisco, learned hair transplant surgery, and it helped. Another big event besides the accident was in 2003. I was diagnosed with follicular cell lymphoma. I had lumps, all over my body. And fortunately, the therapy, it was the one I had was described as incurable, but amazingly, this is 18 years later. I'm still alive and with a lot of prayers there. Hobbies that take up my spare time. In the winter, I almost always was on some kind of a basketball team. And always wish I'd grown a little more. Always too short. In the summers, I played baseball. I started a baseball team when I was in college, and I used to go without food in order to buy irregular baseballs down at Maxwell Street to keep my team going. I also used to, when I was a taxi driver during college, and I used to go by this place on State Street, and it was a magic store. And I went in one day and bought a few tricks and kept going and going. And to make a long story short, I've been doing magic for 45 years and I do about 10 or 15 shows a year. With the pandemic, that's been on hold for a year and a half. So they're gathering dust in my cabinet right now. My wife and I mainly, one of the main things we do, we take long bike rides 3 or 4 times a week, about 10 miles. She has a hand cycle and I have a regular bike. We live in Saratoga Springs, New York, lovely community for the last 29 years. Just wanted to note that my 3 younger brothers all went to Carmel, and unfortunately for the Carmel, they all left the same time I left after 4 years. But it made a difference in all of their lives. Trying to read. So right now, I work 1 day a week. I sold my practice 4 years ago to a plastic surgery group down in Albany, New York. And so I still love what I'm doing, but I'm looking forward to retiring in 2 years at the age of 77. My wife and I are active in Cursillo. We've gone to the week-long retreat that Father Stan started before Easter each year. We've gone there probably about 10 times. That has been on hold for 2 years also. We were in charge, my wife and I led a folk mass group in Wisconsin and again in Ticonderoga. And we retired from doing all that about 15 years ago. So I think that's pretty much it. And I'm just so glad to be able to see what happened in the lives of all you guys too. So I'll zip it there.
Oh, thanks. That was great, Mike. Anybody want to say hello or respond to anything Mike said? Tom Vaughn, go ahead.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Tom.
I think we sat together at the baseball game.
We did. The Cubs.
Yeah.
I had Al Jakovic was on the other side of me. You were on the other. Yeah, but I left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike,
Unfortunately, the Cubbies are crumbling right now. But that's
Well, the Red Sox aren't doing very well either.
sorry about that.
Mike, I remember when you and I roomed together on the senior wing,
That was fun.
and I think we had a sign on our door that's Beats and Beaners. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, we had some warning systems for when Father Fergie was coming down the road.
Yeah, he never caught us. Remember, he got
No.
mad at us.
No,
He got angry because he couldn't catch us, and he
Yeah.
still punished us.
we had some
Ferguson.
characters for teachers.
Hey, you mentioned you played a little baseball, but one of my recollections was, what the heck was the game that you played junior year in that junior year rec room? Was some
BLM.
kind of baseball game.
Yeah, BLM. Yeah, we did. We
yeah.
did it hot and heavy for 1 year, and the next year I made up the game myself. I got a hold of the Sporting News, and I worked out all the percentages. And there was a laminating machine up in the typing room, and I somehow all the supplies were there, and I laminated every card, and we went off. Another group of teams. So
Yeah. I had St. Louis.
yeah,
I had St. Louis. So I got friendly with Stan Musial and Ken Boyer and Kurt Flood.
Yeah,
And then we met up. Then the Cardinals met up later on with the Red Sox in that series that we lost.
somebody gave me the Washington Senators, and Harmon Killebrew was their best player.
Oh yeah.
And he was my hero for years and years. And then I showed up at a fantasy camp one year, and Harmon was there, and he asked me if I wanted to play some golf with him. So he and I played 18 holes together.
Wow.
It was like one of the moments of my life that I'll never forget. He lied about his handicap too.
Anybody still playing golf today or these days?
I play not too straight.
Well, I had the distinction of walking around the greens with three guys that were playing, and I was hit by a golf ball in the chest. It came from the whole other guys I knew the whole beforehand, and boy, that was scary. I had a big mark for a couple of weeks, but that's
All right.
Who else was part of the MLB crew? Was Jack Welchins part of that? Remember Jack?
Yeah.
Tom Lamar.
I
Tom
used to
Lamar.
play that with you guys. That was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Anybody want to jump in there?
And we kept the statistics book. Like it was all based on percentages on the cards. They had we had a wheel that we spin, and some of them were outs and some of them were singles, doubles, triples, home runs, foul out, ground out, and all that. And then if anybody scored an RBI or hit a home run or did a double or a triple, we kept it in. We had this book. We had all the players in the book, and then we would put a mark in it. So we kept the statistics on all the players, and also we could trade. Some of us traded cards to other teams.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here wondering whether I should feel guilty or related, because I brought BLM to Niagara in, I think, freshman year. And it took up, Welchins was one of the players at Niagara. And then when it moved to Hamilton, it blew up. I mean, it just, everybody was playing, and all this time was being consumed with this table baseball game, including, I remember Mike putting the cards together, and you had the Washington Senators. I remember John Romanowski, the pitcher, was
minus 21 or something.
Minus 24 plus 22. Yeah, so he was great starting, but then if anybody got on base, he sucked. But it's just amazing to hear you guys all talk about that, because I don't know, should I feel guilty or should I feel happy that you had so much time on your hands?
Well, that was all mostly during recreation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Kevin. And Kevin, the first time we met, several guys were asking about an update on the status of the province and the order. So why don't you take it away?
Okay, I'd actually be better off with questions. If guys have questions, it'd be easier to see what you're really interested in. But, you know, right now, I don't know, in terms of the province, our province, there's, we have 71 guys in formation, and there's 163 guys in vows. I'm number 50, so it gives you an idea. I mean, 50 are older than I am. The rest are mostly younger than I am. We have pulled out of a lot of places. A lot of our parishes we pulled out of. We're only left in 3 parishes, as Dave Wall would know, in New Jersey these days. And then, like, I was at St. Jane Francis in North Hollywood for many years, both before and after I went to Peru, and we're out of there. And where I was in Glendale Heights, St. Matthews, we're not there anymore. There's just a lot of places we pulled out of. What else? I don't know. If people have questions, that might be easier to handle
What's the
this.
status of Marquette University training? When it was in '68, they started, but what's their status?
No, we have nothing in Marquette. No, we don't. We really don't have anybody in college.
Right.
Because we're taking guys after college. So after college, I mean, it's theology, philosophy, theology, whatever they need to make up.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say that many of them were of Hispanic origin or from South America, or did I get that wrong?
No, we have the majority. I mean, like of the last 60 in Seniority, I'd say about 80% of them are all Hispanic. Some from the States, a lot from El Salvador, and some from Mexico. So that makes up a lot of the younger guys.
The Carmelites used to have 9 parishes in New Jersey, all right next to each other, very, community and all oriented. And now they're down to 3, as Kevin said. One is St. Therese and Cresskill. One is
St. Cecilia's.
St. Cecilia's, which is kind of a unique position. It's about the Carmelites in the 1800s bought the property, and they own it. So the bishop doesn't even can't say anything he wants or have everything he wants, but. There's at St. Cecilia's, they are putting a lot is like maybe 9 priests, of which 4 or 5 are retired. And what is the 3rd parish I'm thinking of?
Well, Herman's there, and then there's an Indonesian who is the assistant pastor.
Dan O'Neill is there.
Right.
And Mount Carmel, Tenafly is the 3rd parish. And
right.
What happens is, like, if there's a big funeral and about 8 priests showed up, and of which 5 were from St. Cecilia's. So they all look like, this was Englewood coming to rescuing the Tenafly, for attendance, and which is unusual because one thing they have in Englewood is the Office of Concern. It's a pantry that's very successful. They feed people all week, and then it seems, and then but a lot of the staff is from Tenafly, and that's it. I'm trying to keep alive the Knights of Columbus, which has the oldest council in the county from 1900. at St. Cecilia's in Englewood, but most guys don't want to join the Knights of Columbus. It's, you know, all the young fathers are into soccer and, you know, managing their own kids' games.
Okay.
Soccer, Vince Lombardi is rolling around in his grave.
Yeah.
He was at St. Cecilia's, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Dave. Kevin, I'm not going to let you go yet.
Oh, wait.
Oh, Tom Vaughn, go ahead.
Yeah, Tom.
So talk to us about Peabody. When did it close, and what happened to Father Herbert Jones?
Okay, Herb Jones. Herb Jones was, when he left Peabody, he moved to Haverhill, Massachusetts. Well, he moved to Methuen. He was there for a couple of years at a parish there, and then he wasn't able to stay there, so he moved to a parish in Haverhill, Massachusetts, which is my hometown. So I would see him quite a bit. He's recently just moved to Lawrence to assisted living. So, you know, it's independent. He has his car, he can drive and stuff, but he's in Lawrence. And when we moved out of Peabody, a group of Indian Carmelites of the Immaculate Heart, or Immaculate Conception, took over for us. So they're there now.
Yeah, during the reunion, I talked to the people at the gift store, and we were going to stop at the Peabody on the way back from Hamilton's visit, but we were running low on time, so we had to get back for the banquet on Saturday night. But we never visited Peabody, but there was nobody there to see. Just the chapel was still there.
Yeah.
Reg, I wanted to ask, I'm a little disconnected. How many from our class, I think there was 98 between the two classes, Niagara, and how many were ordained? I'm not real certain. I think Dave Franzen.
Well, there were about 4 or 5, right? Regis, you should know too.
Yeah.
There were about 4 or 5 ordained.
Brian Cody,
Yeah.
Dave Franzen, you,
I thought there were,
me, and am I missing somebody? 4.
Are we doing?
You mentioned Dave Franzen, yeah.
yeah.
Huh?
Topper and Grimala became brothers. Is that right? Or not?
Oh, Jimmy Topper?
Yeah.
I don't recall. The guy?
Yep,
Yeah.
he was going that way. I became a brother. I don't know. I'm not sure if he changed or not to go back onto the priesthood.
Oh, thanks.
I remember a humorous line from the first meeting we had in Chicago, and someone asked almost the same question, and Nedra Trahant, Bill's wife, piped up, "Oh, I'm the only one who made deacon." she's Protestant.
I think Quinn Connors was also in our ordination
Quinn Connors.
class.
Yeah. How's Quinn Connors?
Yeah, Quinn Connors was in our novitiate class,
Right.
and he's ordained.
Yeah.
He's still around.
Yeah, but he didn't start in Niagara or Hamilton.
No.
No.
No, and he joined our class because he had quit and come back, and he had to redo novitiate because he had left in the middle of his novitiate, his first novitiate.
And he went and worked at the New York World's Fair.
Yeah, he was driving a bus, wasn't he?
Driving a bus.
Right, driving a bus. Yeah.
And that drove him back to the Carmelites.
Hey, Bob Zahn, you remember that trip to the World's Fair?
Yes. Yeah, that was fun.
Enough said.
Yeah.
No secrets getting out there.
I remember the German Fräuleins, delivering the beer.
Yeah.
Kevin, how many Carmelites are there internationally now? What is the size of the
In the
group?
what?
Internationally, I mean, worldwide, how many?
Oh, I have no idea. I really don't know.
Okay.
Weren't we like used to be 3,000? I'm sure we're way down from that. Although the interesting thing is Indonesia is our largest province.
Yeah, that was one
And
of the
so
reasons
while
I see a lot.
While Europe and the United States has gone down, other places have gone up. And like I say, we have a lot of guys from El Salvador that are joining.
Hey, so Kevin, with all the attrition and you being number 50, how did you avoid holding some kind of provincial office?
Yeah, as somebody once said, how come he never went anywhere? And somebody else said he went everywhere he ever wanted to go. So fine with me. Yeah, Tom.
So we just we were
where's
talking about
Quinn
Quinn
Connors now?
Connors. Where's Quinn?
Yeah, my question, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. We have two novitiates. One is in Peru and one is in New York, Middletown. And Quinn just moved from Whitefriars Hall up to Middletown to be novice master, along with somebody from the New York province, because we do it together. So, and in Peru, Jerry Paya is novice master. So I just think it's interesting that we have two novice masters, one's 77 and the other's 78. The guy that took over Quinn's place in New York, in Whitefriars Hall, is in his 50s. He's much younger. So that's where Quinn is right now. He just moved up in June to New York.
Yeah, he's on this email list too, so hopefully sometime he'll be able to join us. It'd be great to see him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to talk to Seamus. I tried to encourage him to come. If anybody wants to give him a call sometime and help me out with that, we might be able to get Seamus.
Yeah, he did reply, and he said, I cannot attend. So
Pretty terse.
And then the three Minnesota boys, Dave Walsh, Bob Donnelly, and Dale, all responded, but they had previous family commitments. And as you may remember, Jack Wielgus, he responds every time, and he's going to want the recordings. He's in some rural area in Virginia. It does not have broadband. So I told him, well, take a vacation sometime, go to a hotel somewhere and get Wi-Fi and join the group.
Jack and I were in the same 8th grade in St. Lucy's Parish in Chicago. So I was looking forward to chatting with him.
I'm sure if we continue this, he will want to check in. He was very interested. Anybody else want to jump in? Tom Vaughn.
Yeah, like when I would be Zooming with my classes at Northeastern University, sometimes the students couldn't get to a computer, and Zoom allowed the students to phone in so they could do audio, but they couldn't do video.
Yeah, and I've never done that, but you can do it. There's a telephone number that's on that invitation that people can dial. Maybe I'll mention that to him.
Yeah, so he could call in and he could hear us and he could ask questions. We just wouldn't be able to see him.
Yeah.
So I got another question for Kevin. What about Whitefriars?
Yeah.
So you said that there is no seminary and all the vocations come after college. So after college, they talk to one of the priests in one of the parishes. They find out about the Carmelites, and then they are they sent to Whitefriars for some time, and then the novitiate, or they go directly to the novitiate, then Whitefriars?
No, there's pre-novitiate, and actually some of the Hispanic guys from Mexico make their novitiate here in the United States. So they have a pre-novitiate. Now, it was in Chicago. I think now they're at Whitefriars Hall, or maybe in one of the other houses to learn English, to learn a better English, do their theology here. Most of the guys in El Salvador, some of them are doing their theology in El Salvador. And the guys in Peru do theology in Peru.
And
so Whitefriars also has not just our province. There are others from other provinces. It's kind of an international house, but there aren't all that many living at Whitefriars Hall. I mean, it's really big as it was before. We have we doubled up the rooms, but other than that, there's a lot of room there.
Yeah, it's been remodeled. It's been remodeled significantly. I stayed there a couple of times. A few years ago, I was working on a film, and it's palatial. And the recreation room was, oh my God, lovely.
Yeah.
Is the theological union, has that been dissolved?
Yeah, the theological union is dissolved. There just weren't enough students with all the different communities, so they're going to Catholic University.
What happened to Donald Buggard?
Don Buggard he's retired and he's living in Joliet. We have a house in Joliet. And there's a bunch of retired guys down there. And that's where Don Buggard is. Somehow I lost the picture here. I don't know how, but anyway.
Yeah, what about some other guys? Any questions about some other guys that have survived?
I think Phil,
Yeah, you ever
Phil
see
wanted to ask something.
You ever see Bob Carroll?
Bob Carroll is in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I think he's still in Darien. He was at the parish in Darien. I don't know. That's the last I had seen him.
What about
I think
Myron Judy?
Oh,
Myron Judy's in Philadelphia, but Myron is he's old, but anyway, he's in charge of like all of our health issues. Myron knows all about the ins and outs of nursing homes and hospitals and everything. And so he has been incredible help with anybody who has health issues.
Yeah. Phil Olson, you wanted to jump in there.
I was going to comment about Jack Wilgus. I remember back at Hamilton with Zucky. Jack came to class with an orange inside of a paper bag that he was holding. And the brown paper bag got all wrinkly. I don't know if anybody else remembers this instance, but Zucky made the comment that it looked like Jack was holding a testicle. And you never saw Jack's face turn so red. And I'm sure you guys remember what Zucky was like. So that I was kind of looking forward to Jack being on this call because I was going to see if he remembered that incident. But if he's getting the recording, he can comment on the recording if he hears this and send us a note if he remembers that incident. But I'll never forget that. He turned so red and he was so embarrassed.
Yeah, send him an email yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Zucky story I remember was at the end of the year, he announced to each individual among the whole class what grade they got. So my last name is Wall. Naturally, I'm like at the bottom of the list, and, nervous as can be. And he gets to me and he says, Wall, well, I was going to give you a 70, but then I found that 68 was passing. So that was, not consistent with today's parental, side.
Yeah, well, I have one I'll never forget. It was imprinted on my brain all these years. It was in geometry, and math and sciences weren't my strength. And so one day he goes, "Okay, Tremblay, up to the board. Let's have a little humor." Talk about mental scars.
Yes.
I remember Zucky and that sophomore geometry class. I used to sit close to the window, the row by the window, and about 3/4 of the way down. And he would come in and take a chair, and he would come down to the window side, and he'd sit in the chair backwards, like the front of the chair was on his chest, and then he'd pontificate from that chair and call people up to the board and stuff like that. And I remember one of the geometry problems that I couldn't figure out. And now that after having experienced everything in education, I said, wow, that was so simple. How could I have missed that? And the question was, a kid had a bicycle and the wheel broke, and he only had a segment of the wheel. And he wanted to determine what was the center of the wheel and what was the radius of the wheel. And that's basically Eratosthenes' problem. How did he solve the circumference of the world? And I said, how did I miss that? I couldn't believe. I still remember that problem. I said, how wish I could have gotten that one.
I think I was dreaming about something else when that happened.
I must have been in a different room.
Yeah, how about
I have
Davis,
I have a question.
Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know if anybody can answer this or not, but I remember it was either freshman or sophomore year. It was Halloween, and there was all kinds of like ghost stories being told, and somebody made up a story about a guy. I think they made his name Tom White, who was an ex-seminarian that used to live in the attic above Father Theophane's room on the 4th floor. And he or they were talking about this guy going around the dorm and sneaking in everybody's places and doing all kinds of bad stuff up there. And after the Halloween party was over with, we went upstairs to our dorm, and there on the floor were these white footprints leading to the attic by Father Theophane's door. Does anybody remember that story?
Goodness.
Got me.
Fortunately, no.
Scared the hell out of us.
Yeah, one of my favorites was you remember Tierney Cahill? I don't even remember what he taught, but he'd come in and give us all the baseball, football, hockey scores, whatever the season was. Anybody remember that? No.
Was he our Spanish teacher?
Yeah, he was.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Hamilton guys are going to remember Peter Canisius Hind, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I don't know if you know, I think I may have mentioned this before. He died at the age of 95 this past year down in Juarez of COVID complications, I guess. If ever there was a saint who walked on this earth, Peter Hind was. And remember the calisthenics out in the parking lot?
Yeah, Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
I remember how he taught us to do what is called bird's eye view.
Yeah.
That you had, when you had to write something, you had to be as succinct and knowledgeable as possible. He called it his bird's eye view. And we had to practice that all the time. And we would get graded on how well we told a story in that one-page bird's eye view. So I used that throughout my career too. That get it succinct and get it down. And if you can get it down to one page, great. You couldn't always do that, but I thought that was a great lesson he taught me anyway.
Regis, I enjoyed listening to that interview you did of Kevin that you sent around. And Kevin, you were talking about the time at Niagara when we went on and did the
In Buffalo.
Not the survey, the
census.
The census. And I had several fond memories of doing that. I remember Smitty driving the bus and us all going across the bridge into New York and going around. We were wearing, the hassocks and collars and doing the census. And we didn't know anything, but we were doing it because we were supposed to do it. And I was very interested to hear your comments, Kevin. You were quite moved by that experience, apparently, and that was enjoyable to listen to that, along with the rest of the interview. But I enjoyed that.
Yeah, right. That was in 5th year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah,
up at first year at Niagara.
Right. We
Right,
weren't
right,
in Valley.
Back.
right.
I had left in Hamilton, and then I came back for the first year at Niagara.
Right, I remember that. Yeah, no, that was very impressive for me. And there was this Monsignor Eberts that I just thought was a great guy, really good. And then got moved.
Kevin, are you celebrating 50 years this year?
Pardon?
Is it your 50th year of ordination this year?
Kevin.
Oh, yeah, right. Next year.
Next year. Okay.
Right.
I think Quinn Connors celebrated his this summer. I talked to him and asked him if he was going to have a celebration because I was at his I was at his first mass and at his 25th. And he said there wasn't going to be much. It was going to be very quiet, probably because of, COVID related issues. So
Yeah, yeah.
next year. Okay. Well, congratulations early.
Yeah, I was the only one ordained in 72. Because other guys in our class were ordained before me. Because I went out to teach at Crespi.
Oh, you were 1
California.
year.
Yeah.
I think the priest I remember the most from all the years is Father Murray Phelan. I was like a force of nature. I remember he was the coach for a basketball team, and he got out there playing, and something he didn't think was fair that happened. He just exploded. But my brother John went to Niagara just like I did, and John had all the same feelings I had. You just walked around trembling, thinking he could see in your soul or something. I don't know if he had the same effect on the rest of you or not.
Oh, he sure as heck did. I was stationed with him for 3 years at St. Agnes in Phoenix. He wasn't supposed to come out there as a pastor. It was a last minute kind of thing. And I got to tell you, the guy had not changed. He hadn't changed at all. And I don't know if you can remember back at Niagara, he was always had paint crews going during the summer or whatever it was. And he painted every wall at the St. Agnes parish at least once.
Speaking of,
I remember he had his.
Go ahead.
What I was
Yeah,
going to
he
say,
had
my
his
memory
paint
of
at
Father
Niagara
Murray.
with that Roxatone.
Mm.
All right,
Remember the
Bob,
Roxatone paint? Yeah.
Haven't heard that in a long time.
Bob Wechter, go ahead.
Oh, I think probably my most vivid memory of Father Murray is playing basketball with him. This old guy would get on the court with freshmen and sophomores. And of course, he was a good basketball player. He taught me probably the game just playing with him. But it was always amazed how good he was, as an older guy playing with these teenagers. And when at Niagara, it was, I still have kind of memories of seeing him on the court with me. Whether you were on his team or against his team, he was always teaching and pushing you and yelling at you. Yeah.
My memory is, you remember Manuel Simpson, who was in our class. For some reason, Murray Phelan picked on him every time he was on the court. I mean, literally, he would knee him, he'd push him. I have a very vivid memory of that, how he kind of picked on him. Anybody else remember that?
No.
Yeah.
I remember being yelled at as a basketball player for being too seminarian-like, too, not tough enough, not pushy enough, and not strong enough, letting guys push you around. Yeah, Murray was, yeah.
All this basketball talk. We were in the tech tournament at the Boston Garden. I think that was junior and senior year. I think, Bob, you were on the team.
Right. Me and Lou were on the team.
Yeah, Lou was on the team.
I was on senior year.
Yeah, I think we lost that to Melrose.
Quarterfinals or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, had to be a big thrill for you guys that played on that parquet floor, but for those of us that were screaming up there in the rafters, and they still smoked in those days, that was quite an experience.
I think the most remarkable thing was that our class size as a school, we were class D, if I recall that.
Yeah.
And we were actually the tech tournament our 2 years, we were playing class B ball. I think that's really remarkable for all of us guys there.
Yeah, you guys did great.
My brother Mark was on the team. They went to the tech tournament in at the C level. Mark was about 6'3", and he was the MVP on the team or whatever.
Oh,
great.
Yeah, Louis, I remember your shot. You had that short that shot from the baseline in the corner.
Those were the years.
Yeah. Hey, have you kept up playing?
Was that?
Louis, have you kept playing basketball over the years?
Stopped recently. More playing tennis.
Well, good for you.
It's a little bit more challenging out there trying to chase the ball out. Because it doesn't go in the hoop anymore. You know what I mean? It just goes to the side.
Al Jakovic played in 65 and up, and then later 68 and up.
Yeah.
leagues, and actually won national championships over sometime in the last 10 years.
And who is that? Who?
Al Jakovic.
Oh, Al Jakovic.
Yeah, he continued playing. I don't know, he might still be playing. I saw him in North Carolina a couple of years ago. My son was in a play and near Al's hometown, and he came over to see us, and he told me he was still playing then, and I was whatever 73, so he was a year older than I.
Yeah, he had a sweet shot.
Yeah.
Where was he from? Homewood?
Braidwood.
Braidwood,
Illinois.
Braidwood,
Illinois. Yeah.
Just, I have to leave, so it's good seeing all of you here, but I have another appointment, so but again, I'll be happy to join again, okay?
Terrific.
Hey, good seeing you, Bob.
Okay,
See you, Bob.
All right, take care.
bye.
Reggie,
Say hello
what have you heard
hello to
from,
Fran.
Will do, will do.
Yeah.
I heard
my
somebody
question,
want-
Reg, was what have you heard from the other guys on the email list, in terms of, joining or not joining or
No-
being
no-
unable or not interested at all?
Just no response. See, I think there's 12 of us on this call. Dave Walsh, Bob Donnelly, and Dale, and Jack Wielgus. Those are the ones, you guys are the ones that I've heard from.
Yeah, I noticed 11 of the 13 on this call were on the last one.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if maybe some people, they don't want to get together with this group. Some of us may, have happier memories of it all than others.
I think I
I
did.
remember Dale
on the
responded that he
email-
wanted to join but was unable.
Are the email addresses all good? I mean, is it possible that maybe they're just not responding because the email addresses are no longer valid?
I have no idea. Some of you guys have been helpful in updating some of the emails. There are others that, I have no idea.
How many showed up 8 years? How many showed up in Chicago 8 years ago? Does anybody have a number? John Prusik was kind of in charge of that, I remember, but I don't remember.
I think it was
the
about
number that
20.
showed up. It was a pretty good
21.
turnout. I thought we had a good turnout.
Yeah.
That was a good
Yes.
turnout.
I think it was about 20. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and somebody sent me most of those emails. I think they're all, take a look at the email list up above. None of it is blind copied. It's all there for everybody to see. And
Right.
if you're interested, reach out to some of these guys. John Prusik, I thought he might be interested. He's still practicing law, apparently. Yeah, he did. He responded to me. I'm sorry. He responded. And he said, geez, I'm just really busy with my law practice. So he's in the loop. Hopefully he'll check in one of these days.
It's too bad the Washington connection's not coming through, like Bill Trahant, John Mitchell. Haven't
Well,
heard from those.
If any of you are in contact with some of these guys, reach out to them and invite them.
You haven't heard from Bill Trahant, right?
No. Kevin, you heard from any of those guys?
Not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've lost all your pictures. The only one I see is myself. I don't know what happened.
Too self-centered.
You have to go back to gallery.
Yeah, up in the top right corner where it says view.
Yeah, I did that. No, I mean, the boxes are there, but there's no picture.
For
There's
anybody.
gallery view, I'm the only one that shows up. Speaker
Oh.
view,
Yeah,
No.
well, I'm using speaker view now, so whoever is speaking commands the entire screen. But I can see
Yeah, I
all
don't
these
know why.
handsome faces. I can see them all, Kevin. I don't know.
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say, Kevin, maybe he's the only one that's worth looking at.
Well, I tell you what, that mop of hair he's got is pretty envious. Some of you guys are doing pretty well. Mike Beaner,
Yes.
anything you can do to help me out?
Looks hopeless from here. If somebody's expectations are pretty minimal, there's nobody that can't be helped a little bit. But
Mike, tell everyone how many grandchildren you have.
10.
I
Whoa.
thought so.
wow.
Wow.
We're on Cape Cod right now, and 3 of them were here the last 5 days, and I'm worn out trying to keep up.
I'd just like to make a suggestion. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I can talk to you about the Washington people. Sometimes the National Science Foundation asks me to help out on panels to review grants. And I've gone down like 5 or 6 times to Washington, D.C. And on the last visit, must have been about 3 or 4 years ago, I usually see Bill when I go down. And this time I said to Bill, can we see some of the other guys? And my wife came. She doesn't usually go, but she came this last time. And so Bill arranged a supper or dinner with all of them. So Joe Fay was there, John Mitchell, and Bill Trant and myself. There was 4 of us there with our wives. And John was still, he's semi-retired from law. He's a casualty lawyer, chases ambulances. And I forget, oh, and Seamus was there too. Isn't Seamus in Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Maryland.
there was 5 of us. Yeah, Seamus, Joe Fay, John Mitchell, Bill Trant, and myself. And yeah, they're all doing well. But that was about 3 or 4 years ago.
Is Seamus still working?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think, was he like a social worker?
But he was a hospital administrator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't remember the details.
Yeah, Louis, you wanted to jump in.
Oh, yeah, I was going to suggest, since we all have everyone's email, and if anyone is interested in kind of reaching out through a Zoom, you could download Zoom for free. You're limited in time to about 40, 45 minutes. But Regis and I connected one-on-one, and I found it very helpful. And then Brian and I met with he and his wife in Delaware. We had lunch, and it was really enjoyable reconnecting with people. So that's just another option.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was good.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Especially you, Dib, since you didn't have to pay for it.
So when and where is our next in-person reunion?
Yeah.
Oh, good question. That was 55 in Boston, right?
Right.
Yep.
So the next one's 60.
Yeah.
Maybe 60?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
No.
That's a good point.
Some of the
How
people,
much interest there would be traveling.
some of the people at the 55 mentioned Niagara. Some hadn't been back to Niagara for a long time. And it's got a lot of sites. If family comes, there's many other things to do if you went on a long weekend, like a Friday to a Sunday.
Yeah.
And they have Kevin, don't they have facilities there? I know they have a
Yes.
retreat or something house.
They have rooms.
Yeah. Boy,
They have rooms,
there's lots of hotels there too. Is the Oak still there?
loads of them. Huh?
Is the Oaks Hotel? It was
The which hotel?
Oaks.
They probably
near-
took,
Oaks. I don't know. I don't think the same owner is there, but there's something there. There's a lot of these high-rise hotels up there. But I don't know what's going on now. I mean, they just opened the border. I can't imagine how they're surviving up there. because people from the United States couldn't get it into Canada. And they're just allowing them now.
Right.
Yeah, my wife and I are hoping to get up there this Wednesday. We've been looking at going up to Canada on Wednesday, but the only trouble with us is that you have to have a COVID test 72 hours before you arrive in Canada. Yeah, which means we're scheduled to get a COVID test on Monday, and they said that they could have it for us on Tuesday. And then we have to fill in this Arrive Can app that has all that information in it, plus your arrival date, where you're going to arrive at, who you're going to see. It's really challenging to do that, but we're still hoping to do that. Although the US has now made it impossible now for Canadians to get to the United States. They've closed that particular side. Although they're going to allow, US citizens who go to Canada to come back in again. So we'll be able to get back in, hopefully. But we're hoping to be able to get there.
Yeah. So Brian or Kevin, either one of you have any news about Tony McNamara, another Canadian?
Oh, Tony died.
Oh,
yeah.
He died a few years ago. He died at Niagara. He was really sick for a long time. But he died a few years ago, and it was at Niagara that he died.
what about, I'm sorry to hear that. I was stationed with him for a number of years down at Sal Point. What about Terry Sear?
He died too. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's been dead for a long time.
Another guy.
Anybody else?
Yeah, no. How about Dave Fontaine?
Yeah, no, he's still alive. He just retired about a year ago. He was in California in Fairfield for a number of years. Moved down to Tucson, but from far as I know, he's going back he's going to retire up in California, Fairfield. But he's still alive.
Kevin, I have a question. You mentioned there were 163 Carmelites in vows today. How many were in
Right,
vows? Huh?
Yeah, what?
There were 163 today in Carmelite vows.
Right. That's in the latest directory.
How many were in vows in 1968, 72? And how
I
does
don't
that-
know. I suspect there are about 300. I don't know. It was a lot more, obviously.
Yeah. I'm
But
thinking
I don't
320.
remember exactly. Huh?
Brian?
Yeah, I think it was about 320. I can remember
Yeah,
my uncle, Father Owen, who was a Carmelite.
right.
And I can remember him when he said he made the first page of the directory. And at that time, there were about 320, I think, Carmelites.
Yeah,
But
that
he was
sounds
so proud
right.
that he made the first page.
That number sounds right.
I wonder if anybody from our class passed away in Vietnam. Does anybody know?
What was the question?
Did anybody from our class die in Vietnam?
Oh, I don't know.
Not that I know of.
There's
You know-
one. There was one that I remember, but I forget his name. I think it was Catalano. I remember going to the Vietnam War Memorial and seeing his name.
I
think he
agree.
was.
I remember that too.
I think he was.
George
I
or
think he
John
was.
Catalano?
I think he was maybe in fifth year. I don't think he was in vows. And
He left,
George
as
left,
soon as-
left the first year of Niagara.
he was what?
George
He
was
left the first year of
behind us
Niagara.
at Niagara.
No. So
And
when he left, he got drafted right away. He was
Right,
over
yeah.
Vietnam, and then the story that I remember that got back to us was that he was like in the mess hall or something, or he was in the barracks, and they needed some volunteers. There was some truck convoy coming in, so they needed some people to help unload or something. And he said, "Okay, I can do it." And then he got crushed between the loading dock and the truck when it was in reverse. He was only there for a month,
Yeah.
That's how I remember the story.
The other guy I wondered about was Bill Godfrey. Does anybody
Oh,
remember him?
yeah.
Somebody told me that after he left us at Hamilton, he got into the military and was sent to Vietnam. But I don't know how true that story is. Maybe Kevin knows.
Yeah, no, I don't know. We were from the same town, but after he left and stuff, I never kept up with him, and I really don't know.
Any of you guys remember Roy Gordon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he left, I don't know, 5th year, maybe 6th year. Yeah, because he went through novitiate with us, didn't he?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he either drafted or he joined the Marine Corps. I can't remember if he went to Nam, but when he came out, he became the police chief in Chevy Chase. Where is that? Maryland?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he died a number of years ago. Just I don't know from what. Bob, you weren't in Nam, but you were in Iraq.
Yeah. The seminary got me out of Vietnam.
Yeah, remember?
I was in Vietnam from 68 to 69,
Oh boy.
but I came back.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
good.
Really?
Yeah, I was field artillery. I had been good in math, so when I had to pick a combat arms for one of my 3 choices went through OCS, and I picked artillery. So that's what they had me go through. And I went over there, 68, came back. I was basically there at the height of the buildup. Came back in 69. Interestingly, I went back to Tufts University in 69, and in the spring of 70, when they had the Cambodian invasion, Tufts University, they had a big rally, and all the students and all the professors protesting the invasion, and they ended up canceling final exams. I had to take pass-fail in all my subjects, which fortunately I was passing, but that was kind of an interesting. I just wanted to get my ticket punched and get my degree and get going, but that was an interesting time period. Is kind of like, as George Carlin would say, if you remember the 60s, you really weren't there.
well, any of you guys remember Jerry Maloney from Niagara?
Yeah.
He used to tell us, guys, just keep your head down, stay in the long brown line, and we'll keep you out of Nam. By the way, Kevin, I had been in contact with Jerry for a number of years. He was out in Colorado, and he was doing aquatics for senior citizens. Any word on him?
Oh, he passed away.
On who?
Jerry passed away a couple of years ago. I saw him regularly after he moved out to Colorado. We'd have lunch, or we had him for Christmas dinner at our house one time. He lived down in Littleton, which is a suburb, and he was continuing to do that into his 80s. He was 83 when he passed. He had esophageal cancer, and I remember he remained as funny. I mean, he had a terrific sense of humor, and it was always great to get together with him. It was very sad when he passed away.
So that was when, a couple of years ago?
Yeah, it was. I think that's like September of 2019.
Okay.
A follow-up to Roy Gordon's story. I don't think he didn't go to Vietnam. He went into the Marines. I remember visiting with him down in Washington, and he got assigned to I think it's called Memorial Hall in Arlington, Virginia, and he was part of the ceremonial Marines that around the White House, and so he didn't have to go to war, so he lucked out.
Yeah, big time.
But I guess he liked.
It was a seminary training.
Yeah, he liked the military, and that's why I think he went into law enforcement after he left the military.
Well, guys, we just come up on 1 hour. Anybody else want to jump in before we tie the knot?
Well,
It's good to be
I was gonna send you an email. You're talking about that list of emails. I think one of the names on the list is David Michaud. You should delete his name. He passed away a few years ago.
Okay, I just made a note of that. Thanks, Tom. Anybody else want to jump in there?
There's another guy that was with us, I think, up until novitiate, was Ryan LaHerd. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ryan Laird.
He's in Minnesota.
Was he in art class?
No,
No, he's in
I think
Chicago. Ryan's in Chicago.
is in Chicago. He's been real close with Dave Walsh, Dale Panton, and Bob Donnelly. They've traveled the world together.
Yeah, I was in novitiate with him and was good friends with him. And I know him and his wife, Carol, and he's got a son that's living out here in California, but he worked for some kind of a nonprofit, I think, in Chicago and retired from there and has been in Chicago for quite a few years now. He went to the University of Chicago, both he and his wife did. And I think they're still there unless they've moved, but I get a Christmas message from them every year.
If I can go back to Jerry Maloney for a second. This is a picture of him after he got his Uber license at 80 years old. And I was having lunch with him and he held up his, the little card they put in the window. And, so, yeah.
Can I?
He was very proud of getting his Uber license.
Bob's on. Go ahead.
Can I ask Kevin a question? Two parts. One is you're raised in the East and still have family there. How did you wind up in Arizona? And number two, are you able to choose where you want to do your retirement, or are you pretty much assigned to your retirement situation based on your availability to still, perform as a priest?
No, I actually, when I said I retired and I just got everything in my car and I drove around for a year, but I was in different places. I was kind of looking around we got to choose where we want to go. And they had an empty apartment here and I kind of like the living situation. And from here I can drive back to California when I want to, or I can go wherever. I just drove across country and came back a couple of weeks ago. So we choose where we want to go. And it helps. I mean, usually if you get a place where we have a house or something, some guys are living on their own, but we can pick it.
Okay.
Kevin.
Isn't there a community or two down in Florida where?
Yeah, I was gonna say both.
Yeah. I've never been down there, but there's a community in Florida. There's there's a kind of it's independent living place in California, and there's 5 guys there, and that's our largest community on the West Coast. It's in a place called Scalabrini, which is run by the Scalabrini Order or something. But anyway, there's 5 guys living there.
Where's that? Where at in Kevin? Where is it?
It's in Sun Valley. It's in the valley, in San Fernando Valley.
Okay, North Valley, yeah. Sun Valley is north of San Fernando Valley. Okay.
Yeah, I remember a number of years ago going down to Florida at the retirement community down there and seeing Father Roger Bonneau and Clyde Osmankowski. That was before both of them died.
Yeah.
Clyde Osmankowski. Yeah. He and I drove our motorcycles from Houston to Niagara Falls for the chapter up there one year.
Right. But there's guys.
What was the name of the priest at Niagara that was our theater director? Tom
Pinkel.
Tom Pinkel.
Tom Pinkel.
Yeah. I remember we imported a Loretto girl for one female lead.
Right. In the 10th, one of the 10th man.
Plays. Huh?
The 10th Man by Patty Chayefsky.
Oh.
There was like 12 guys and one girl.
I played.
I remember seeing her and how I I thought I was impressed how easily she could act. It seemed like, wow.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
You know.
Well, there's one more priest. The priest that taught us Greek freshman year at Niagara, was it Louis
Kirshner.
Kirshner?
Kirshner, yeah.
He must have passed away, right?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
And Father Malachi, he's gone.
Yeah,
Well,
Mel's
he was the
gone.
provincial, yeah.
I remember he used to bring in that ad from
Abercrombie and Finch.
Yeah, right.
I
Which is
remember-
taken
I
off.
remember his favorite. I remember his famous little saying too before a test. He says, "You got two options: either study or pray that the world ends tomorrow."
Yeah, I remember him saying in our history class that Canada would be the country of the 21st century because all of its resources and none of the craziness that was going on, with Vietnam or any of that stuff. You remember that, Kev?
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, who was the guy that at Hamilton used to read us Outdoor Life in class? Was that Fairfield?
Emmerich Carmody.
Carmody.
Very Carmody.
Yeah, he's gone.
Jeff.
He died.
Jeff.
Another
who was the guy? Was Jeff? Father Jeff was in charge of the Passion Play, right?
No.
No. Who was?
That was
Emmerich.
That was
Emmerich, right.
Right, Emmerich, yeah.
That was Father Emmerich. I was I don't know whether it was my first year or second year at Hamilton, and I was one of the little Jewish boys. Tom Lamar was the other one. The two of us were, because most of the play was done by juniors and seniors, but we were freshmen, but we were picked because we were so small. And I remember participating in that, but I remember Father Emmerich was the director, and he did a great job.
The scrim.
Al Jakovic was Jesus.
Right.
Is Brother Bernie still around?
Oh no!
Yeah, right.
He was 100 when we knew him.
I know, that's right.
Remember him? You remember his story from Niagara, when Remo Bracelato. I don't know if you remember Remo Bracelato.
Oh boy, there's a name from the past.
Yeah. Now he had a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And he threw a chair out of his second-story window, and Brother Bernie was called upon to replace the window because he was supposed to be good at that. Well, Bernie, thinking that he knew all the measurements because he'd done this so many times, built a window for replacement. But unfortunately, that particular window frame was a little bit larger than all the other ones. So when he put the window in the frame, it just went right straight down again.
Went right through. Yeah.
I remember that. Measure twice.
I got something for Larry. Larry, you're in France right now, right?
No, actually, I leave on next Friday. I've been in Denver for the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
I came back 3 weeks ago.
When we're talking about Father Malachi, one of the other things he used to say to us in our history class was that the French were always fighting the last war, because when he talked about the Maginot Line and the Germans had the Blitzkrieg, they were prepared for another World War I type war, and the Germans had moved on and all the other countries had moved on. So he said the French were always fighting the last war.
I remember him saying, and it was interesting because Rick Steve said it on one of his shows the other day, that the Holy Roman Empire was not holy, Roman, or an empire. And I remember Malachi starting the section of our history class on that, saying the exact same thing. These things stick with you 50, 60 years later.
Yeah.
Hey, Reg, you were saying something about Michichi possibly joining one of these sessions. Is he still available or not?
Who did you address that to? Phil?
No, to you, Reg.
Oh, I don't know. He's on the list. I don't know if the email is
Don't know.
still good. Ed Curtin is still on the list.
Ed's still around.
And he's still around.
Yeah, he came to the 55th. Mr.
Right.
Machichi couldn't come. He came to our 50th.
Right, in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 55th too?
No, he couldn't come to the 55th.
Oh, could not.
But Ed Curtin came to the 55th.
Well,
Because
if you get a chance, reach out to those two guys. I don't know. I would hope it would mean a lot to them because they both had a significant influence on all of us.
Mhm.
Both in the
They must-
both in the classroom and in athletics.
Right. They must be in their early 80s now. or
Yeah,
something,
they
right?
got to be.
Mhm.
Is Tom Vaughn, is Ed Curtin still a greeter down at Fenway?
No, he gave that up. No, he was. No, I think he's totally retired now. I think, and I think he lives in Beverly.
Yeah, okay.
And at the 55th when he came, his son came with him, sort of like his assistant, helped him.
Well, that was the same for the 50th, I think. His son came with, or two sons came with him
Oh.
in Chicago.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
I was in touch with him several times over the last couple of years when the Boston Celtics had a player named Tice. And he thought that was pretty cool and, was saying he was the second Tice to play on parquet floors. But he was traded to the Chicago Bulls about sometime in the last year or so. I stopped from Ed about him. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. Well, if
Everybody, oh, by the way, everybody heard that Dave Franzen passed away, right? He
Yeah.
passed away at the
Right.
time of our first meeting, I think.
Yep.
After
Yeah.
30 years of Parkinson's or something like that.
Yeah, and Bob Donnelly's second wife just passed away.
Oh, yes, I saw that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and one of the other things I think that we can provide for each other is when that does happen in somebody's family, that I think the condolences and the wishes, well wishes and prayers have meant a lot to the family. So probably not a bad thing that some of us are keeping this going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Anybody else?
'Cause I got a nice note back from was her name Catherine Franzen?
Yeah.
Dave's
Kathy,
wife.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Because I sent a mass card out to her, and she wrote back the nicest note. They're just thanking us for the prayers and remembrance, stuff like that.
So,
So that was, I think it means a whole lot coming from someone that they probably never knew, never met, and yet still remembered. That was really nice.
Mm.
Before we depart, I want to thank Reggie for setting all of this up and keeping it going. I think you're doing a great job.
And struggling with
Keep
your
your VPN
VPN.
going.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's your bedtime now, Reg.
Let's see. Yeah, it's 11:30, 11:22.
Did you get the battery back up to work?
Yeah. There was no problem. It was the Russians that did it.
Yeah, right.
Always true, always true.
I started thinking about this. I've done 138 video podcasts on YouTube using Zoom with people from all over the world. Never had a problem. And that one night, I keep getting a disconnect, reconnect. And I figured, what could it be? And I spent 3 or 4 days with this Express VPN, which is my VPN client. And they're the ones that said, well, do you have a backup power supply? And I go, yeah. And he said, well, try disconnecting it. Now, I'm not an electrical engineer, but I have a little background in electronics and ham radio. And I mean, wait a minute. A backup power supply doesn't have anything to do with software, the computer. All it is coming from the wall into the computer. So I said, you know what? I'm plugging the damn thing back in. And I spent 3 or 4 days just testing it with people, and there was no problem. So I think it was the Russians.
Mhm.
The Russian.
They're messing with Navalny, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, I'll be sending the recording around tomorrow. But this was nice. We'll look to do it again sometime in September.
You
All
got
right.
it.
Good, good.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a
Okay.
great rest of the summer, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
long
Rick.
to everybody.
Not much left.
Bye.
Okay.